Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Jay from Keeping It Real, your arbiter of gaming news and commentary, hitting you off with a studio production video where you know this is your channel, where all gamers' voices are heard. With your boy Jay, always dropping the word. Keeping them other gaming YouTubers like, what you heard? And where you always know, we always keep it all the way real. So what's up, everybody? Just want to thank you all for checking out my studio production video today. And once again, just want to thank everybody who's showing love and, you know, dropping thumbs up and dropping comments as well, man. Just want to thank everybody. So yeah, like usual, I'm gonna go ahead and dig right in, man. And of course, this is gonna be one of my original pieces I wanted to do on the success of Xbox X in its pre-orders, man. There's been a lot of talk, you know, actually funny to say, by a lot of Sony fanboys, man, and just a lot of haters in general who spoke up on the X and referring it to it being the next generation console. And I wanted to dig into the prospect of, is the X secretly a next generation console? You know, I think for those ones who understands the facts and digs into it, I think it becomes just very painfully obvious. But I still wanted to speak to the fact of, you know, to answer that question, to dig in that, because I think, you know, many, contrary to my opinion, I don't personally think it's a next generation console. However, it could be argued that in some ways it is. And of course, those haters out there, it could be argued on their side that, hey man, you know, it has all the hard marks of a next generation console. And I wanted to go ahead and dig into that prospect, man. And, you know, go ahead and I guess play a little devil's advocate. So I want to start out with some of factors that would have some credence to it, have some weight to it when it comes to the factor of it being a next generation console. So number one would be it being 6 teraflops of power, and it being able to be literally PC quality. To a lot of people, that would appear to be, come on man, power like that, being able to be on the level of a PC, you can't tell me that's not next gen, right? And they're just astonished by, this can't be possible. I think a lot of fanboys right now are just kind of like, they're shell shocked at this point, because I think seeing those Tomb Raider comparisons, along with you know, the comparisons that Digital Foundry is dropping, is just kind of blowing people away, and people are starting to realize things that guys like me have been saying for months now, even going as far as back as the Scorpio Effect video I did, where this was one of the things I was saying very clearly, that when people start seeing this, it was that this is literally straight up PC quality. A lot of people didn't believe it back then, that that's what we were going to see. And I was saying this from the beginning, man, that this is what we were going to see. I believe what Microsoft was saying. I didn't believe them to be coming out and then be lying about this, because the fact is, everyone's going to see if what they were saying was true. And I think we've already seen right now that Microsoft, and even confirmed by Digital Foundry, which is not friends of Microsoft, that no, Microsoft more than delivered on their promise. And I think this goes to, you know, a lot of those claims. For me personally, when I see a guy claim that the Xbox X is a next generation console, I just smile, because to me, I think that's a compliment, you know, because that's a compliment to the dedication and the ingenuity that went into developing the X. And you got to understand, man, this was a console that Microsoft didn't just poop this out this year. Microsoft has been in the development of this console for several years now to get it to the point of where it is now. So this had to be a vision from years ago to see it for now to be something that was going to be a pivotal factor in today's gaming industry. Now, I think even Microsoft wasn't even really prepared for just how huge of a impact the X was going to really make on the market. I think they're now starting to figure it out when it comes to the pre-orders, that the demand is going to be huge for this thing. And I just think it's leaving a lot of the fanboys in the dust. They're just really all they could say is this, oh, it's a next generation console, it's a next generation console, and try to claim that the PS4 somehow has 8.4 teraflops, you know, which is ridiculous. But yeah, man, but it still begs the question that, you know, is this one of those things where secretly does Microsoft have a little extra, you know, there's some technical wizardry going on in this thing, and that's something that's really interesting to me, and that's the part that I would like to dig into, because obviously on its face it's kind of ridiculous that it's a next gen console, and I would think what kind of proves that out is obviously with the CPU. I think the CPU is one of those things where, and also the price is one of those things where it kind of tells you right there, okay, this is not a next generation console. I think $500 a premium cost, but I don't think that would be in the CPU. I think if this was truly a next generation console, they wouldn't have tried to do everything they can to keep it a CPU that is, they would have obviously went for Ryzen or went for something way on a higher end of a CPU. They wouldn't have just went through so much painstaking work to just custom the hell out of a Jaguar to the point where it's not really even a Jaguar anymore. They wouldn't have did that on a next gen console. And also a next gen console would be something that would be far more substantial. I mean, and we're just not at that point right now in regards to technology that would be cheap enough to be able to have it be on a console for a next gen. I just think that's ridiculous. So for those reasons, would just point to, of course, it's not a next generation console. However, that being said, we do have to, you know, it is an interesting prospect to think about, if that's the case, and let's just say that's the case, how much dough, when it comes to what this damn thing can do, is actually just a peek into what the next gen would be. Because as we know, there is some technical wizardry going on in this box that even Digital Foundry admits they don't know what the hell is doing, how it's doing it. And that's where the interesting part comes into play. Is Microsoft secretly put something in this damn thing that literally maybe is components, or it's performing operations, or it's put together in a way that this is a little taste of what the next gen is. And I would have to say yes, in some ways, yeah, because you think about what they've done in this thing. When you think about what have they done with this thing when it comes to the vaping cooler chamber, making sure that the console, I mean, it's going to be a lot of power, that making sure this thing is not going to be running hot, and it's going to stay nice and cool, and it's not going to be sounding like a jet liner taking off like the PS4 Pro. That's new tech that's never been ever put in a console before. You think about it being the most powerful, but yet being the smallest console. I mean, that's some serious wicked ingenuity going into that. I mean, not only making this damn thing the most powerful, but the most smallest console. You think about VSync or FreeSync that's going into it. This is stuff that's not even on TVs right now. That's just basically future-proofing it. You think about things like HDMI 2.1, that is yet another new port allowing for a higher stream of data to your monitors that, you know, we're not even using yet. I mean, all of these things are things that you would see in a next generation type console, and they're things that you could argue that, yeah, this is just a little piece of the taste of like next generation goodness. And I think that's just all a great thing, because that just adds to the value of what you're getting in a small $500 package. And for overall, this is what are the things that I would lead to say, to just a few things I would lead to say to, yeah, it is a little next generation sauce in there. You know, there are some new, you know, updates that, you know, Microbar, if you've been checking out the, you know, their Twitter, and also checking out mixer, that Microburst, man, he's dropping the bombs. He's letting know that this thing, we're getting a new complete interface, UI. We're getting a new upload studio that's going to be completely redone from the ground up. Obviously, you guys already know that we're going to be allowed to be recording and being able to create content in 4K 60 frames per second. And we're getting all of this with everything new interface, new. I mean, there's even talks of a new achievement or expansion on our achievement system, expansion on how our scores work, our achievement scores work. We're getting an expansion on our avatars that are going to be more lifelike and more animated so we're basically just getting a whole new, just like you kind of would get if you were to just get a new generation system. And it would come with all new things. And I'll tell people that, if you're thinking about, well, the X is not really going to have, what makes it new gen is having exclusive only titles for the new gen that only the new gen can have. Now, I would agree with you years ago, but it looks like now what that actually could be when it comes to exclusives for the X is actually, like I've said before, straight up PC titles. And we're already seeing evidence of that. We're already seeing evidence of games that are going to be developed literally only for the X. It being literally just developed for the X and the X only and PC. So that's you're going to be seeing more and more that coming down the pike, where you're going to be seeing PC developers talking about their games that they're porting over to the X exclusively. And there you go with the exclusive titles right there. And this is what I've said and talked about before, that this damn thing is so powerful, and it has some things working in a box that literally we're getting it for the price of $500, but getting PC quality and the simplicity of a console. And that's I mean, and that is definitely next gen like, without being totally next gen. So yeah, I would definitely say there's kind of a argument on both sides. But I would say, obviously, clearly, with the CPU that it has in its price tag, and also with the timing, right now wouldn't be that pivotal time when it comes to technology. I believe the next gen is going to be something that is capable, being future proof of being 8K, but being a steady 4K native and 120 frames, capable of 120 frames a second. On ultra settings. I mean, I think that's what the next gen is going to be. So I think this is, to me, in my point, obviously wouldn't be next gen, but I think it's a possibility that, man, there is some next gen wizardry going on in the Xbox X. I think it's very possible. I think some of the evidence of that is Digital Foundry themselves still not really understanding exactly how Microsoft is doing what they're doing. When it comes to making the X perform in the way it is. And I think that's a really interesting prospect, because that lends a lot towards the future. It says that Microsoft is putting a lot of ingenuity into this box, ensuring that it is one that is future proof and one that would be able to stand the test of time to those ones who to stand up to a PS5. Because like I've said before, if a PS5 comes anytime inside of 3 years, it won't be able to surpass the X. It'll be able to maybe equal the X, but not surpass it. And the X is going to definitely give Microsoft all the time they need to be able to get out the next, Xbox. So I think this is really interesting. I think Microsoft right now is in a really good place. All they need to do is, get it together next year. I think I'm really excited about next year's E3. I think it's going to be mind blowing. I think that's going to be the E3 that's going to melt your face for Microsoft, because I think that's when they're going to come out guns a-blazing, because you got to remember that's when they're going to announce games 2 to 2.5 years out, and I think that's when we're going to be seeing some of these new titles, these new exclusives that they're working on, these new partnerships that they got, a lot of those things that they got lined up. I think that's what we're going to see. So yeah, man, that's gonna be the video for today, man. I think this is interesting prospects. I want you guys to go ahead and hit me up. Do you guys think that Microsoft got some secret sauce underneath the box, man, that is remnant of the next generation console? Do you think they put a little bit of that up in there, man, just to kick it off and show you guys what's up, or what? Okay. All right, yeah, man. So that's my video for now, man. You guys make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you're not a part of the Keep It Real family, make sure you hit that bell down there for your boy. And I guess I'll catch y'all next time. This is Jay. I'm always keeping it real, and I'm gone.